Good evening, I'm your host, Jack Remington of Jack Remington, Political Analyst. Forgive me for the headphones, we have an interference. There's a neighbor 2 houses down that has television equipment that's causing interference, and there's not much I can do about it. I'm not going to complain. I've already lost 3 videos last week, and it really set me behind on my schedule, and we're going on vacation in the middle of the month. So August is going to be a tough month for YouTube, for my channel, but I'm going to do my best. August has 31 days, so we have 31 questions. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Question number 1. Did retired President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, make a mockery out of Representative John Lewis's funeral last week? Question 2. If your answer is yes to question number 1, was the retired President of the United States, Barack Obama, out of line by such classless conduct? Question number 3. There were over 100,000 mourners at the John Lewis funeral. Most had masks. I did not see that much social distancing, but we can't go to churches. We can't go vote in person. Really? Question number 4. Back to your chosen one, Barack Obama. He pushed mail-in voting because people will get sick, but funerals are okay. Protesting is okay. We can't vote in person. Question number 5. Enough of Obama. A separate video is being worked on to discuss his actions. Did you see the Dr. Fauci, the fraud, at the Nationals game where he saw the photos crews leave, but the in-house cameras caught him removing his mask? Question number 6. Did you watch the fraud Dr. Fauci squirming like a toad, like from that Jim Morrison song, Riders of the Storm? Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio handed the hypocrite his head on the orange man's platter, didn't he?
Chairman, Dr. Fauci, do protests increase the spread of the virus?
Do protests increase the spread of the virus? I think I can make a general statement.
Well, 500,000 protesters on June 6th alone.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, that number of people, does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus.
Should we limit the protesting?
I'm not sure what you mean. How do we say limit the protesting?
Should government limit the protesting?
I don't think that's relevant to.
Well, you just said if it increases the spread of the virus. I'm just asking, should we limit it?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine what the government can do in a forceful way.
Well, you make all kinds of recommendations. You make comments on dating, on baseball, on everything you can imagine. I'm just asking you, just said that protests increase the spread. I'm just asking you, should we try to limit the protests?
No, I think I would leave that to people who have more of a position to do that. I can tell you.
Government stopping people from going to church, Dr. Fauci?
Yeah.
Last week in the Calvary Chapel case, 5 liberals on the Supreme Court said it was okay for Nevada to limit church services. Justice Gorsuch said it best. He said there's no world in which the Constitution permits Nevada to favor Caesar's Palace over Calvary Chapel. I'm just asking, is there a world where the Constitution says you can favor one First Amendment liberty, protesting, over another, practicing your faith?
I'm not favoring anybody over anybody. I'm just making a statement that's a broad statement that avoid crowds of any type, no matter where you are, because that leads to the acquisition and transmission. And I don't judge one crowd versus another crowd. When you're in a crowd, particularly if you're not wearing a mask, that induces the spread.
It's a simple question, Doctor. Should we limit the protests? Government is obviously limiting people going to church. And look, there's been no violence that I can see at church. I haven't seen people during a church service go out and harm police officers or burn buildings. But we know that, for 63 days, 9 weeks, it's been happening in Portland.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one night in Chicago, 49 officers were injured, but no limit to protests. But boy, you can't go to church on Sunday.
What was the?
I don't know how many times I can answer that. I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm just going to tell you.
You've opined on a lot of things, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, but I've never.
This is something that directly impacts the spread of the virus, and I'm asking your position on the protest.
Yeah, I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm telling you what it is, the danger. And you can make your own conclusion about that. You should stay away from crowds, no matter where the crowds are.
Government has stopped people from going to work. In fact, just in New Jersey 4 days ago, Ian Smith, Frank Trombetta were arrested for trying to operate their business, their gym. They were arrested. But my bet is if these two individuals who own this gym were outside just in front of their gym, and all the people who were working out in their gym were outside protesting, they'd been just fine. But because they were in the gym working out, actually running their business, they got arrested. You think that's okay?
You know, I'm not going to opine on who gets arrested and who does not. I mean, you get where I'm going. I'm telling you, as a public health official, I say crowds.
Do you see the inconsistency, though, Dr. Fauci?
There's no inconsistency, Congressman.
So you're allowed to protest millions of people on one day in crowds yelling, screaming, but you try to run your business, you get arrested? And if you stood right outside of that same business and protested, you wouldn't get arrested? You don't see an inconsistency there?
I don't understand what you're asking me as a public health official to opine on who should get arrested or not. That's not my position. You could ask it as much as you
you've
want,
advocated for
and I'm
certain
not gonna
businesses.
answer it.
You've advocated for certain businesses to be shut down. I'm just asking you on your position on the protest. I haven't seen one. We've heard a lot about hair salons. I haven't seen one hairstylist who, between haircuts, goes out and attacks police or sets something on fire. But we've seen all kinds of that stuff during protests, and we know the protest actually increased the spread of the virus. You've said that.
I said crowds. I didn't say specifically. I didn't say protests do anything.
So the protests don't increase the spread of the virus?
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I just want an answer to the question. Do the protests increase the spread of the virus?
I don't have any scientific evidence that anything. I can tell you that crowds are known, particularly when you don't have a mask, to increase the acquisition and transmission. No matter what the crowd is.
So you don't have a position on whether the protests increase the spread of the virus or don't increase the spread of the virus?
I'm saying that crowds, wherever the crowds are, can give you an increased probability that there's going to be acquisition and transmission.
But do you understand Americans' concern? Protesting, particularly according to the Democrats, is just fine, but you can't go to work, you can't go to school, you can't go to church. There's limits placed on all three of those fundamental activities, First Amendment activities, but protesting is just fine.
You know, the gentleman's time has expired.
Question number 7, did you see Ghislaine Maxwell give the authorities that list of Jeffrey Epstein's, quote, visitors on Pedo Island? Question number 8, is Halloween a good date for the over-under date of Ghislaine Maxwell's suicide, or you want to call it Arkancide? Question number 9, did you see the Patreon lost its court case last week? 1,100 creators sued Patreon for their own violation of terms of service, and they're kicking them off for chickery and bullshit, just like YouTube and Facebook and Google. And the creators decided to take them to court, and the term of service that Patreon forces the creators to agree to, which they did, was arbitration. Well, when they had 1,100 cases of arbitration, they didn't like that too much. So they're trying to force the 1,100 creators to do a class action suit, and the judge said, wait a minute, you have in your terms of service that they must do arbitration. Well, if they decided to do 1,100 cases individually, that's in your terms of service. What gall, okay? And I hope the creators win. I'm always on the side of the creators unless they're really, really bad. Question number 10. Has anyone here ever used Patreon? I know I'm signed up, but I tried to contact them 3 times for a web series I was going to do, and then I figured they were that clueless, I dropped out, and thank God I did. Question number 11. Does anyone here use eBay, the online marketplace? Question number 12. If so, if you do use eBay, did you have trouble moving to eBay's latest brain fart to manage payments? Question number 13. For those of you out there that do use eBay, is eBay trying to commit suicide once more? Question number 14. Has anyone here ever used Etsy, another online commerce site? It's the online site that's a copycat of eBay. Question number 15. What would you say if I told you that Etsy stock was $7 almost 2 years ago? True or false? Question number 16. What would you say that if I told you that Etsy stock crossed $120 per share last week, as pushing over $130 now? True or false? Question number 17. What would you say if I told you that Etsy has a far lower sell rate than eBay by a significant margin? True or false? Question number 18. The Trump stock market is churning back to pre-COVID-19 levels. Should Trump get the credit for the rebound? Question number 19. So the Portland mob decided to quit earlier last week. Does Trump deserve credit for this too? Question number 20. Minneapolis mayor and cuck candidate for 2020, Jacob Frey, had the nerve to ask President Trump for emergency funds for the Minneapolis disaster. Appropriate, in my opinion, Donald Trump said no. But in your opinion, was this the correct answer by Trump? Yes or no? Question number 21. Did you see that report that Black Lives Matter went to the Ozarks of Arkansas to see if they could enlist the whites in the worst place known for its large of KKK members? Here are some of the photos courtesy of the Daily Mail, a United Kingdom publication. I don't know any American publication that would want to get shot by a minimum of 1,000 stray bullets. Question number 22. My other two videos about Kamala Harris were taken down 2 weeks ago. We all know that she is now a huge favorite to be the quid pro quo Sleepy Joe, Two-Finger Joe Biden's vice presidential pick. Is this helping or putting an entire leg of Joe Biden's body in the coffin earlier than expected? Question number 23. Is there anyone here that thinks that Kamala heals up Harris will reject Biden's vice presidential offer? Question number 24. If anyone answers yes to the previous question and are the female persuasion that likes washed up old married men, I want to play tiddlywinks with you. Question number 25. Did anyone see that look on Stacey Abrams' face when she thought Sleepy Joe was going to ask her online live to be his vice president? That was priceless. I'm not a big fan of Stacey Abrams, trust me. Question number 26. Have any of you noticed that the COVID-19 numbers still go up and up and up, but no one tells you that millions more are now getting tested, far more exponential numbers. They don't tell you that, and far more exponential numbers. Question number 27. Has anyone out there noticed that the beating of the war drum of COVID-19 would switch really quickly, and the drum beats were back to the George Floyd case until 2 days ago when the other footage got slipped out. As of film time today, the new footage was leaked out by the Daily Mail of the United Kingdom, again, a non-American company. Gee, I wonder why that is. Question number 28. Did anyone notice that how the day after the Marxist communists switched those drums, that the Axon body camera footage of the George Floyd were made public? Footage clearly shows George Floyd was resisting arrest, and his very second sentence, "I can't breathe," his previous behavior pattern. Question number 29. Where is the outrage over this woman getting shot by saying all lives matter? Only one mainstream media source? That's all I could find. Now there's a couple bots that come out with it, but the day this happened, there was one mainstream media outlet. Why? Question number 30. Where is that $37 billion, not a misspeak on my part, $37 billion in aid that was from the United States to the Ukraine back in 2014? Question. No one wants to talk about that. No one wants to get involved. But when President Trump got involved with the second round of aid, holy hates exploded, and we saw the results. Question number 31. Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself? It's always a great day to be an American, and it sure likes that Civil War 2.0 is chugging our way. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.
Dr. Fauci, do protests increase the spread of the virus?
Do protests increase the spread of the virus? I think I can make a general statement.
Well, 500,000 protesters on June 6th alone.
Yeah.
I'm just asking that number of
No.
people. Does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus.
Should we limit the protesting?
I'm not sure what you mean. How do we say limit the protesting?
Should government limit the protesting?